look at Tom Izzo, the Hall of Famer, in his 22nd season with the Spartans, and Jerry Slocum in his 42nd season as a college basketball coach, 12th with the Penguins, has 715 career wins. You asked him today at the shoot-around, is it a dream to go up against Tom Izzo on the road in the Breslin Center?
Yeah, he said there's not much difference between a dream and a nightmare. But as a competitor, you know he's ready to go. And he's actually won at Georgia, so he's had some big games in his 42 years.
The Penguins in the road red, the Spartans in the white jerseys with the green numbers and letters. This is France down to Matt Donlin on the cut. The Penguins are on the board.
One of the major challenges is dealing with the perimeter game of Youngstown State. Cam Morse is their best player. He's out.
McQuaid can't hit. Santiago with the rebound. Over to Donlin. Donlin and Santiago are the chief concerns for Tom Izzo. Their ability to score from the perimeter.
Mentioned Cam Morse from Flint, injured wrist against Toledo. In that game, Eamon, he scored 40 points, so they're definitely in concerns on their offense.
Step back from Donlin with the shot clock running down is off. Last touch by Michigan State, so it's a new shot clock for the Penguins.
100% man-to-man defense for Tom Izzo's squad, and they're going to play a little bit more perimeter-oriented, trying to take away that three-point line.
This is Brett France, who the Penguins really want to see get going tonight. He is in a shooting slump. Santiago down to Kaufman, knocked away by Coins. Now Tum Nair, forcing the issue for the Spartans. McQuaid squares up, over to Arns. Coins draw two, back over to Arns. And we're tied.
Good idea to get to the rim against the Penguins. They lack shot blocking. Their perimeter defense not very good.
This is Raheem Williams coming around on the screen. Kaufman going to work on Goins, kicks it out.
Francisco Santiago is the guy to keep an eye on, and watch how fast with end-to-end speed you see from Nair.
McQuaid with the good ball fake, pulls the trigger and hits. That's a three ball.
Youngstown State averaging 80 points per game, but that's against weaker opponents.
Good D by McQuaid, Donlin on the block. France passes up to three. Again, shot clock down to 10, and the Penguins nowhere near the hoop. Santiago picks up his dribble. Donlin a long three, too strong. Rebound Goins. Nairns again quickly the other way, off the window, and it's good. Santiago checks over to Slocum and gets the play call.
Defensively, since the Florida Gulf Coast game, Tom Izzo condemned his players for playing sissy ball. I've never heard it put quite that way. He said our defense is unacceptable, and we have to bring that Michigan State Spartan toughness on the glass. We've seen a quick start from them, and I know that with Nick Ward, and they're going to try to get him going early in the low post.
Ward in for Goins. The Penguins go to the bench as well, bring in Nick Haygood. Devin Haygood, number 2. Nice two-man game to Ward. And just like that, he's in the scoring column. So a great start for the Spartans here at home.
The three things I love the most about Nick Ward: toughness, great hands, excellent footwork.
Haygood over to Santiago. That's short. Rebound Ward. So the Penguins came in winners of 2 in a row, but right now no rhythm whatsoever offensively. The Spartans have taken them out of their game, and McQuaid in and out for 3. Down to Haygood, rejected by Ward. Nairn breaking down the defense. Harris wanted it, steps in, and makes it.
The strength of this Michigan State team on the offensive end is their ability to knock down jump shots and Jerry Slocum is going to try to get his team under control.
So Coach Slocum has to take a timeout with 16:05 remaining, down by 9. Back after this.
Pepsi, Verizon, and Xfinity. Spartan fans, it's time for the sub-hub move of the game. Moving to fans to some of the best seats in the house as a thank you for coming to tonight's game. We hope you enjoy your new view courtesy of StubHub, the official game-to-game ticket marketplace of Michigan State Athletics. And fans, quick moment of rewarding you tonight for...
Let's send it over to Tim McCormick, who's standing by with the highly touted freshman, Miles Bridges.
Thanks, Eamon. So, the start of your college career, you put up All-American numbers. For the next 2 weeks, you're going to be on the sideline with an injured ankle. I noticed you sitting with Coach Izzo. You're talking a lot with him. What are you seeing? What are you learning?
It's great being next to Coach Izzo. I mean, he's a Hall of Fame coach, a great coach. And I'm just seeing the things that I don't see on the court, and I'm learning a lot.
So, Miles, Spartan fans want some good news. How is your ankle feeling? How's the prognosis?
Yeah, my ankle's getting better every day. I'm supposed to come back soon, and I'm just listening to whatever my trainer tells me to do.
Miles, have a great holiday. Get back soon.
Thanks, you too.
Back to you, Eamon.
All right, Tim. Miles Bridges, the number 3 freshman in the class, according to ESPN Recruiting Services, a McDonald's All-American. Tom Izzo labels him a blue-collar superstar, and certainly it's plan B or C with him out of the lineup for Michigan State. But everything going according to plan here tonight against Youngstown State. Here's Raheem Williams, has France open on the block. The lefty layup doesn't go off the glass, rebound Langford. This is Cassius Winston dumping it down to fellow freshman Nick Ward, who can't hit. Loose ball, Langford picks it up. And Langford hits the teardrop.
Langford for 2.
So now it's a 13-0 run for the home team. And Donlin gets the bucket. Good cut by the veteran out of Australia.
You know, when Jerry Slocum talked to his team today at shoot-around, one of the things he said that was kind of interesting is at some point, Michigan State's going to get on a huge run. The crowd is going to be going crazy. And the message he gave to guys, I don't want a hero ball. Don't go one-on-one. Don't try to do it yourself. We need to have extra passes, longer possessions, and make sure we get that team-oriented shot.
So here is Latin Davis, a sophomore from up the road in Ypsilanti, Michigan, bringing up the ball. Santiago loses it. Here's Harris. Can't hook up with Winston. It's knocked away by Davis.
You know, by talking to Bridges on the bench, I'm reminded about how young this Michigan State team is. There was a time against Oral Roberts where they had 3 freshmen and 2 walk-ons on the court.
Harris hits the baseline, Jay. Thought it was interesting, Tom Izzo told us, yeah, during that game, Bridges said, yeah, he should have done this, he should have done that. He's like, yeah, that was you 2 weeks ago making those mistakes. Now you know it all.
Now, Tom Izzo is taking a lot of time to mentor Miles Bridges because he's going to be a major star at the next level.
Michigan State outscoring Youngstown State 15-2 over the last 4 minutes. But now France dumps it down to Haygood. Another turnover for the Penguins.
Jerry Slocum tries to bring his players back to play in their home state. Devin Haygood and Latin Davis from Ypsilanti. And Cam Morse, who we mentioned, a high-level scorer. Top 5 in the nation, around 24 points per game, is not playing. He's from Flint, one of the long line of Flintstones. Ohio version.
Winston off the screen hits.
Passes Winston from 1, Langford.
Matt Van Dyke on the floor for the Spartans. Now Santiago has not been able to get a clean look at all here in the first half. Davis lets it fly behind the arc. That's off. And McQuaid runs down the rebound.
Yeah, very much a perimeter offense. And as a lifelong Spartan fan, can you imagine how happy Goins is? What a success story he is. Goes from being a walk-on to a starter at a major powerhouse program like Michigan State.
5 on the shot clock for Langford. The step back, air ball. Santiago grabs it out of the air. Over to Donlin, catch and shoot. Too strong. Williams taps it to Van Dyke. He's got McQuaid. He'll let it fly from behind the arc. Nice rebound by Haygood. Davis looking to push up ahead to Williams. Shovels it to Donlin. Too strong with the left. Winston splits the 2. Now slows things down.
Tom Izzo told us earlier today he thinks there's a good chance that Cassius Winston, who is a wizard passing the basketball, could one day pass Mateen Cleaves as the all-time Spartan leader of the category of assists.
McQuaid down to Goins. Good defense by Donlin. Langford open though. Can't hit. Davis keeps it alive right to McQuaid though. And now Goins with the putback.
Hey, Goins on the putback. Goins for 2.
Goins, a redshirt sophomore out of Troy, Michigan. Mentioned the former walk-on. Santiago. Winston all over him. So he goes to the block, the fadeaway. Nice shot.
2-point basket by 23, Santiago.
Now Michigan State attacking quickly. The spin from Langford. Haygood there with the block. But it'll be Michigan State ball. Last touch by the Penguins.
On the floor.
There's a break in the action. 11:47 to go. Michigan State in control, 19-6. Everyone getting involved. Winston getting a look and knocking it down. Welcome back to Michigan State. A reminder, coming up at 9 on ESPN, we'll have number 21 Florida taking on Coach K's 5th-ranked Duke Blue Devils. This is the 17th meeting between the two programs, with Duke leading the series 12-4. This game can also be seen streaming live on the ESPN app and watch ESPN.
Grayson Allen is the All-American for Duke, but both Luke Kennard and Emil Jefferson have been more efficient and more effective than Allen. And can you imagine when they get Giles back in the lineup?
That was certainly what Tom Izzo was talking about today when he was talking about how we're young and inexperienced going up against older teams, and that was the case when they went to Cameron a week ago. Out of the timeout for the Penguins.
8 have already scored from Michigan State. That's a big number this early.
Shot clock down to 5. Santiago throws up a prayer, and Haygood works hard for a new possession. Santiago from Flint. Another rebound, Haygood. Nice pass down low. And Hartfield puts it in. Braun Hartfield onto the court and into the scoring column. Alvin Ellis on the floor for Tom Izzo. There's Tum Tum Nairn over to McQuaid. This is Ellis. McQuaid on the drive. Cut off by Williams. Shovels it to Ellis. Doesn't get the bounce. Hartfield with the rebound.
A good idea to try to hit in transition before Michigan State's half-court man-to-man defense gets set up.
Santiago into a whole bunch of traffic. Loses it, but last touch by the Spartans. So now Ward and Harris onto the floor for Michigan State. And France checks in for Youngstown State.
Yeah, when you think about how young Michigan State is, think about this. Last year, they lost Costello, who was the rock of their defense. Denzel Valentine, Deontay Davis, and Bryn Forbes are all in the NBA. Schilling, Carter, and Bridges are all on the front line and out. And Tom Izzo said he's having a lot of fun coaching these young guys.
So that's a block on Michigan State.
Michigan State
Aaron
foul
Harris
on 11, near the
didn't have position.
13-second.
55% of the team scoring.
And most of that was done by that guy right there who's out for 2 to 3 weeks.
I get the sense for Tom Izzo, if you looked at his Christmas list, he wants 2 things: Miles Bridges and a sweater.
He's certainly also happy to be setting up shop in East Lansing for a while here in the month of December, after that crazy November early season schedule they had.
Yeah, 14,000 miles they played against Arizona, Duke, Kansas, Kentucky. And maybe the biggest problem they had is in those 4 losses, 17 turnovers per game.
Well, right now it's the exact opposite, as they have forced 11 turnovers. Excuse me, make that 5 turnovers, 11 points off the 5 turnovers, but there's steps by Ellis. So if you're Jerry Slocum, you look up at the scoreboard and you see you're only down by 9, you almost got to feel comfortable, because it felt like they were down by 20.
Yeah, and they're not a good defensive team. They win on the offensive end. As a matter of fact, in their last game against Oberlin, they gave up 16 three-pointers, which is the most that Coach Slocum had ever given up.
Haygood, soft spot against the defense and hits. Good ball movement there by the Penguins. Penguins now fighting their way back in this ball game on an 8-0 run. They double Ward. The foul against Youngstown State. It's against Haygood.
At the center position, Jerry Slocum has a nice luxury. He's got 2 big guys that are both pretty effective, and they do things in a different way. Jordan Kaufman is the center. He's big and physical. And then you come back with Devin Haygood, who has a nice change of pace, really long, athletic, end-to-end runner, and he plays above the rim. And now all of a sudden, Kaufman comes back in.
So moving screen called against Kyle Arns on the inbounds pass, gives it back to the Penguins. This is the opposite of the Oral Roberts game for Michigan State. In their last game, they got off to a slow start, worked their way back into it. Here, a great start, but now the Penguins are clawing back into the game. Ward on Kaufman down low, so they kick it back out to Davis. Nice cut to Raheem Williams, who can't finish. And Ward saves it under his own basket, though, to Kaufman. No whistle. Kaufman working hard to get it back.
Big mistake by Nick Ward. You never want to save the ball under your own basket.
10-0 Youngstown State run, and a rejection there, last touch by Ward. So the Penguins have picked themselves up off the mat here in East Lansing.
Eamon, the difference between a top 20 team and a top 50 team is being able to avoid droughts. And you may remember Michigan State were in the game almost the entire way against Duke. Late, they gave up a 10-0 run. All of a sudden, it was basically game over at that point.
France still can't get a good look. He remains cold. Nairn forcing the issue. Harris from behind the arc. Loose ball. Nick Ward diving for it. Last touch by Arns, but he saves it to the Penguins. Latin Davis back out to Williams. Good look at a 3. Short. Nairn doesn't have the numbers, but it doesn't matter. Rejected by Williams. Harris there for the cleanup, but he stepped out of bounds.
In transition, does that ball hit the glass first? That looked like a goaltending from my perspective.
Santiago back in there for France.
Do you like Tom Izzo with the casual look tonight?
Absolutely. In East Lansing, I'm going to say I like Tom Izzo with anything. Michigan State hasn't scored in 4 minutes. A 10-0 Youngstown State run right now. Davis off the screen.
And Latin Davis won a state championship in this building as a junior. Made it back as a senior and lost. So since they play the semis here too, he's 3-1 career. Might be 3-2 after tonight.
Those were in his Milan high school days. Now he's wearing the red and white for Youngstown State. Michigan State up by 5. Back after this.
Fans Spartans.com under the Fans tab or on the official Michigan State basketball social media accounts. Spartan fans, please welcome the MSU dance team.
And you know that it's killing him to not have a chance to be out there tonight.
As you mentioned, the great pipeline between Flint and Michigan State. Tom Izzo was asked if he knew about recruiting Cam Morris back in his high school days. He said, I didn't know about him. I didn't know enough about him. I had to fire 2 assistants today who didn't recruit him for me. Under 8 to play, 3 on the shot clock. Santiago finally realizes it, but can't hit. Rebound by Arns.
Yeah, 0 for 9 from 3, and that's the thing the Penguins do best.
McQuaid. Ball fake now. Nair gets a wide open look at the 3, short. This is Williams. Youngstown State has yet to really get Santiago or Donlin going. Here's Donlin with 4 points inside. Gives it up to Davis. 10 on the shot clock. Nice pass inside, rejected. Harris with the block, Goins with the rebound. This time McQuaid will take the 3. In and out. Harris can't come up with it. Santiago regroups, 2-on-1. Nice play by Tum Tum Nair, and he keeps it in play. Great effort. Harris pulls up and gets the roll. So that ends the drought for the Spartans.
Yeah, I want to see more out of Aaron Harris. 17 points per game as a sophomore at West Virginia. And when Denzel Valentine went out last year for 8 games, Aaron Harris stepped up and averaged 18. He's a very good scorer, and he's capable of more than he's delivering right now.
First points in nearly 5.5 minutes for Michigan State. Again, Donlin working against Michigan State and the shot clock, but he gets the roll. So he has 6 for the Penguins.
Really pretty clear that Michigan State's best offense is when they're in transition. In half court, they're just not fluid.
Here's Williams dumping it down to Kaufman. Goins reaches in.
Michigan State foul on 25, Kenny Goins, his first team score.
So some people here in East Lansing feel Harris is kind of the barometer for how Michigan State's playing.
Well, there's no doubt about it. Aaron Harris is an outstanding athlete. And the challenge as a senior, you want to be a star, you want to lead the freshmen, you want to be a stopper on defense. It's challenging to try to do everything in that position.
Michigan State, he's 5-1 when he scores in double figures, 0-3 when held under 10. Langford on Donlin, now they switch down to Kaufman, lots of contact, no call, and now over the back on Kaufman. So good defense by Van Dyke to come over and cut him off.
And defensively, Van Dyke with excellent positioning. I had a chance to watch Matt play when he was a senior in high school at Imlay City, and one of the best jumpers on this team until Miles Bridges came, almost a 40-inch vertical. Very smart, cerebral play. Oh, and he can pass it too.
But they reject Ward, he gets it back, goes right at Haglund and hits. Spartans up by 7. We approach 5 minutes left in the first half. Donlin for 3. He's found a rhythm. He has 9 points. Haglund, too much contact on the block against Ward.
Youngstown State foul on 2.
Nick Ward has lost 30 pounds since he stepped on the Michigan State campus, and Tom Izzo said the big question mark has to do with Nick's conditioning. Early in the season, he could go for maybe 3 minutes until he needed a break. Izzo's impressed, saying he's up to 4 or 5 minutes before he has to give him a quick blow. And for the first time, Youngstown State goes to a zone defense. Jerry Slocum said, if we can't keep them in front, we'll go zone.
Van Dyke brings down the rebound after the Winston miss. So a new shot clock for Michigan State. Langford gets it out to McQuaid.
Versus zone. Along the baseline and the foul line are the two areas that you can target.
Steps called on Ward. So Youngstown State with the ball, and they throw it away just like that. Errant pass. Winston over to Langford for three, and he hits. Freshman out of Alabama. Makes it a 7-point Michigan State lead. Youngstown State still trying to get Santiago here on track with the ball. Domlin's having a big game. Drives right at the Michigan State defense, gets his own miss. Kaufman there to clean it up. Santiago can't come up with the steal. Winston forcing the issue. Dumps it over to Ward, and one!
Back-to-back assists by Cassius Winston. We're going to talk about one of Michigan State's greatest players ever. Just sent me a text about Cassius Winston. Hang with it, and I'll share it with you on the other side. How's that? Is that better? Okay. So can we show those Cassius Winston? He had back-to-back assists.
Wednesday on ESPN2, it's another Journey to the Tourney game presented by Sonic, and it doesn't get any bigger than this in women's hoops. Number 2 Notre Dame hosts number 1 Connecticut in South Bend, 7 p.m. Eastern on ESPN2. Also available on the ESPN app and watch ESPN. Not only is the number 1 ranking on the line, Connecticut's 82-game winning streak is on the line, and the Huskies on the cusp of history made by the Huskies. Of course, John Wooden's Bruins, 88 straight games snapped by Notre Dame, and Connecticut had won 90 in a row before losing to Stanford. And you know, Tim, no fair. I get texts from my wife telling me that we need to pick up milk in Yonge Street. You're getting texts from former college hoop greats.
Yeah, well, we made the comment that Tom Izzo said that Cassius Winston may pass Mateen Cleave someday as the all-time assist leader. I just got a text from Mateen saying, I love Cassius and his passing ability. Tell Spartan fans he will leave East Lansing as a better player than me. Wow.
That is certainly saying something. And there he is forcing the tie-up. That'll be Michigan State ball. For
him to do that, he's going to have to lead the Spartans to a national title, right?
I would say so. That's where the standard has been set by Mateen Cleave's club that won it all for Tom Izzo and cut down the nets.
Bo Peep, Charlie Bell, the Flintstones have done great things in East Lansing. Miles Bridges.
Harris off the screen with a good look. Doesn't drop. This foul goes against Youngstown State.
Youngstown State foul on 21. Rossick, his first.
Stephen Rossick.
Eamon, I went to a Michigan State practice in October, and I noticed something that really stood out to me. Tom Izzo was coaching Nick Ward harder than anybody else on the court. He was confrontational. He was nurturing. He was coaching him to do more than he was doing at that point. And I think he had a vision that he was going to really need Nick Ward as a major component this year.
And he also wants to make sure Ward doesn't get complacent. You know, he's freshman, Big Ten Freshman of the Week. Wanted to make sure he knew that he had a whole lot of basketball left to be played this year. Nice ball movement as Winston again with the great vision finds Arns down low. Now France with under 3 to play. He has yet to score. They got their 3 big scorers out there now in Santiago, Donlin, and France. France came in just 1 of 13 in the last 2 games, and that shooting slumps continued here. Santiago from deep. Bullseye.
3-point basket for 23, Santiago.
Those are the kind of shots you can make when you wake up at 6 in the morning and shoot with your father. But Michigan State answers with the dunk down to Ward.
And Cassius Winston is putting on a passing clinic.
Donlin from straight away.
3-point basket.
The shooting shoes are on for Donlin and Santiago. So after being ice cold from behind the arc to start off tonight's ball game, Santiago and Donlin are locked in.
Can't really be surprised by the shooting of Donlin. He had a 7-3 game earlier this year.
And Langford answers. So he's your zone busters. They moved it inside and then kicked it outside. The Penguins have hit 3 straight threes after missing their first 9. France doesn't take the shot on that one. Santiago now draws 2. 9 on the shot clock for Davis. Donlin is going to have to let it fly with 2 on the shot clock. Hand in his face, and he's going to go to the line for 3. That won't sit well with Tom Izzo as Arns got him on the elbow.
There really can't be a worse foul than this. You play 30 seconds of defense, you contain the ball, you force a tough off-balance shot, and bail him out with 3 free throws. Donlin, though, is quite a player. He's from Australia, and he said that he has a big advantage as an undersized power forward. He's much quicker, gets his shot off, and the hidden key to his success, he said that he's very versatile. He's got the Australian accent, but he doesn't really sound Australian. He can turn it on and off.
I thought that's what you're going to say. Tonight after Purdue, Arizona State, and Florida Duke, don't miss SportsCenter at night with Scott Van Pelt. He'll have all the college hoop highlights, the NBA, NHL, NFL news, and everything else, including college football coaching moves. SportsCenter at night after the Jimmy V Classic on ESPN. When you said he has an advantage, I thought you were going to say that he can drop the Australian accent whenever he wants with the ladies.
Santiago said that when they go out together, that when there's a girl around, his Australian accent becomes more prominent.
Now the Penguins digging in on defense. Winston with the lefty floater gets his own rebound.
I really like the Nairn-Winston ball handling when they're on the court together. You've got 2 ball handlers that can really push tempo.
McQuaid with the good closeout on France. He has been unable to get a clean look. 15 on the shot clock. Rossick will take the long ball. Too strong. Arns all alone for the rebound. Cross-court pass. 1 more to McQuaid. Rossick with good defense. So Arns will take it. And this will be a foul on Rossick down low.
Youngstown State foul on 21. Rossick, his second.
This might sound a little bit crazy, Eamon, but a 7-point deficit in this building, I think that Jerry Slocum is thrilled with that. Cam Morris is their top scorer, top 5 in the nation. He is not playing. To be in touch at this point is exactly what Slocum was looking for.
So there's about a 1-second difference between the game clock and shot clock. all intents and purposes, the Spartans can hold for the final shot. Now the Penguins content to let them do that and sit back in the zone. And now Tom Izzo is going to draw up the play.
Michigan State. A 30-second timeout.
Doesn't look like he's happy with that quick three.
So I'm holding a card in front of me that Tom Izzo gave me, and he's a real close friend with Steve Mariucci, the former Lions head coach, and because of his love of football, he scripts out the 4 top plays that he wants to go to at the start of the game, and he uses those as a reference throughout. They've got the horns quick, horns Rice, turn down 3, and check down. In this situation, and if you've been a Spartan fan for a long time, you've probably seen chest down about 1,000 times. That's their standard play. I wouldn't be surprised to see them try to go to it right now. And in the end, keep an eye on Nick Ward inside getting a touch.
Another strong outing from the Spartan bench. And Oral Roberts, they had 56 points off the bench, 20 already here in the first half. 10 on the shot clock. 5 on the shot clock. McQuaid coming off the screen from Ward, short. France has time. Good if it goes. Well off the mark. So the Penguins get the stop on the final possession. Michigan State heads to the locker room up by 7, but Youngstown State certainly in striking distance.
Nice job staying close. Youngstown State did not shoot the ball well from 3, but they hung in there with a gritty defensive foul.
So Michigan State with a record of 5-4, looking to make it 2 wins in a row. They have a 7-point lead on Youngstown State. On the other side of this break, we will join